championship team material quite yet, and they're looking to make that happen today.
A lot of these teams have earned a lot of points, but let's go into the game before it gets started without us. Remember, this is a best of 3 maps, and within each map, it is a win score of 3. So first team to 3 points is going to take it. Now we're going to see the pressure get pushed on from Missile Team. Going to try and push him with that Croak, but he gets stunned. Hopefully he doesn't get that combo on him, but he will not. He's going to get healed up. Not much max health lost. Right now it seems like they're just going to stand their ground and try and take this first orb.
Interesting. I mean, if we look at the compositions, we've got Croak, Uldur, Ashka, which is actually really different. Not something we've ever seen before. Good clarity potion for Wallace. Gets Deal out of that situation. He could have taken a lot more damage than he did.
Oh, that first orb will go to Isle Team, but we're going to see their Croak's going to be pretty low. Deal taking a lot of damage.
Oh!
Oh, the stun combo. Oh my god, what a CC lock. So much, followed by an Ash Gold. Holy hell, 4 Wallace just got completely destroyed.
Nice return on Wuzek, or rather on Deal onto Blanks, and that was a good cross kill. And so now they're going to be put into a 2v2 situation, but health is in favor a little bit for Project Horizon, despite the fact that Isle has gotten both of the center orbs. Nice combo. Hot Biscuit and Wuzek will close it out, and this was actually the 2's team that they ran with in the 2v2s that we ran yesterday. They ended up taking 2nd place with it, so Hot Biscuit and Wuzek have a lot of synergy going for them. Now, there was a lot of action that happened in the last moment. Huge connection off the Uldur ult. One of the scariest things ever to get hit by, because a 2-second stun is nothing to laugh at. And it really allows Uldur to line up a quicksand as well on top of it, just because, especially if he chooses somebody else to use his ultimate on, he can actually pre-fire his quicksand so that it lands the instant that the opponent gets stunned. Added on to the fact that Wuzek had the target incapacitated, they were able to pile on so much damage. But I think Deal made a very good decision at this point in time. Used his ultimate when he saw Blanks use his space aggressively, caught Blanks off guard, and reduced his health to almost nothing. And then Varesh was able to deal with that through the Fog of War, putting down the ground AoE, taking him out. I mean, so many interactions.
If we were able to break down that stun lock from on for Wallace, it was an Uldur ultimate followed by a Croak stun followed by an Ashka ultimate. An Ashka stun. Then she rolled away, and then Ashka followed up with an ultimate. Just completely destroyed. I'm pretty sure she went from 80% health to 0 within a matter of 6 seconds.
Yeah, nice combo, and this is really the best way to demonstrate what this team comp can do. I'm really interested to see how far they can push this composition Project Horizon, and I think we got a good demonstration for that first round.
Oh, Isel's getting hunted down. Varesh doing a lot of damage. He's already down to half health at this point. They were going to try and get that. Oh, stun followed by every single firebolt. Hot Biscuit just laying on that pressure, not letting him do anything to escape. And now we're going to see a good deceit from Deal, trying to lay a little bit on Hot Biscuit, but he's going to easily have his space bar. He does have a full ultimate though, so we're going to see a good bit of burst coming up.
Oh man, just so much connection after connection, and this synergy between Hot Biscuit, Blanks, and Wuzek is out of this world. They're using their CC so well, setting up damage so well. One of the things that I really want to highlight about that particular round was that Wuzek was basically the master of threatening for Wallace. So Varesh got really, really low early on. And just the fact that Wuzek popped the C at that moment in time, For Wallace knew that he was going to be the incapacitated target. And so what did For Wallace have to do? He had to kite away. He had to spend his clarity potion. And what he was not doing was healing up Varesh. And just in the fact that Wuzek popped that to C, essentially crowd controlled For Wallace because he could not afford to spend time healing and protecting Varesh.
We talk about Varesh a lot, not having much mobility, especially when he doesn't have energy right now.
Oh, man!
Ready immediately, his counter gets baited out. He does get barrier and he shields himself. It's quite a lot, but he's going to get completely pressured still by Wuzek. He will not leave him alone.
Oh, my God!
A double stun Ashka Croak combo.
They just seem to be throwing out whatever they want. Yeah, they're done.
Deal's already done. Deal has either disconnected or just completely given up on this round. Oh, my.
This composition is so strong. I cannot believe it. Why have people not been running this so far? That was so incredibly effective. And the big thing to me was that their accuracy is on point. Hot Biscuit has been landing stuns just left and right and left and right. And then even using his left mouse button as well, he never missed a tick on Varesh in that round, dodged the counters, and Wuzek was able to get in there, hit CC, just constantly controlling up the enemy team. Such an efficient way to make a kill happen.
I mean, once you baited out Varesh's counters, it leaves him in such a vulnerable spot if he doesn't have anyone protecting him. And Croak was trying his best to actually pressure their backline, so he wasn't helping out his Varesh. His Varesh would get barriered and shield, but once that was off cooldown, he was just going to keep taking max damage constantly. His max health was going to slowly drain because, as you said, Lucy was getting pressured as well, so she couldn't heal up Varesh, and he just got absolutely destroyed. We're going to take a look at a replay of that insane CC combo on Lucy.
All right, there's the in-cap coming down, and we see that the camouflage is still being held onto. There's the old door stun, and this is where everything just starts hurting for Wallace here. There's a good counter from Deal, and really that's what helped them get the cross kill, but there was still more damage coming down from Project Horizon, able to secure the kill on Lucy. Just fantastic use of Bar. And for anybody who's played the game, it's actually much more difficult than it looks. Getting a picture-perfect situation is far and few in between because your opponents are constantly trying to squeeze their way out of it. But perfect execution. I mean, aside from the fact that I think Blanks maybe could have gone in a little less aggressively and prevented himself from getting exposed to the Venom Wind, but what are we really debating here, right?
Yeah.
They literally just blew away one of the members on Izzle's team.
I mean, it definitely comes down to that split-second decision-making. And as you know, Old Door's ultimate, it's really, everyone knows it's coming. You hear him make the loud sound. I think it's got almost a 2-second casting time, or 1.5-second delay.
Yes, the fate time is
pretty significant casting or delay when the stun actually comes down. So getting that first in-cap helped secure the ultimate. But then you saw Croak actually, he had to use his camouflage a little earlier than he wanted. He couldn't line it up because it was actually, he was running out. So he might as well use it, get the 8 damage for the M1. And then still is going to get landed on by the stun, followed by the Ashka stun. And then as soon as she rolled away, he knew Lucy had nothing left. So it's something we talk about a lot about Lucy. If she doesn't have support, doesn't have peel, there's not much she can do once she's used her roll. So once she rolled away, it was an easy pick for that Ashka ultimate.
Fantastic execution from Project Horizon. And this is interesting because Project Horizon definitely had a very different feel when 2-on-3 was heading up the front line for the team. And now that it's been swapped out for Wuzak, they have kind of adopted a new attitude, right? They're very aggressive. I mean, Project Horizon was well known for long games, making decisions, good decisions across a 3-minute period, right? But now we see games ending instantly, right out of the gates. They just go aggressive, make the kill happen, and it's over.
It's almost like as soon as one hard CC lands, they all just stop what they're doing, turn, and start the combos. They start landing another, even if it's just 2, right? Even if you get a Croak stun into an Ashka stun, that's still going to deal a good chunk of your max health. And I guess just to reiterate for those of you that don't tune in a whole lot, the way the max health works is your current health can only be 40 hit points below your max, or you start losing permanent max health.
Yes.
And then you can only heal up to, you can only heal 40 essentially to your max health. You can regain a little bit through center orb. You'll get 10 max health and 10 current if you get the center orb for your whole team. Everyone gets that. And then also the little orbs, I believe it's 6 and 6. So 6 current and 6 max. So you can slowly build up over time if you're able to survive and not take more max health. But the key, as you said many times, is to take that max health away whenever you get opportunity to do so.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm excited to see what Team Izzle will be able to do to try to claw their way back into this series here. But Project Horizon is looking good. I love their composition. Uldor, Ashka, Croak is not something we see very often. In fact, Croak has been highly unsuccessful in tournaments in terms of actually grabbing wins, aside from Telroskmi, who's been running Jade, Croak, Lucy for the longest time. We've not really seen a different Croak composition work out, aside from Jade Lucy. So being able to see Ashka and Croak work, or rather Jade Croak, I don't know why I said Jade Lucy. But now we see Ashka Croak, and that's looking good.
I mean, it really just comes down to that chain CC. As we like, the reason Jade Croak worked so well between Teldo and Varask was that they'd line up that hard CC, and especially with Jade's, her stun is a burst in itself. Yeah, it does insane amounts of damage. So that mixed with a stun, almost you've already taken 40 off, and then they're also CC'd, so you can get a couple more M1s on them, and then you follow up with the disabling shot and whatnot. But Ashka, between Ignite and his AoE stun, it again significant amount of max health damage from any combo. It's really just one ability for each of you and a bunch of M1s, and you've taken probably 20 to 30 max health off of somebody if they're not able to get supported by, say, a Clarity Potion or a lot of heals or maybe, you know, counter stuns on the other team's part.
Yeah, there's so many fun things that you can do with that, and especially any kind of CC. I mean, Uldor provides a lot of CC on his own, but if you have CC for Uldor, he gets even better, right? And so I really like that choice, not going with Lucy, which has been by far the most popular support pick, kind of in the history of BattleRekt, I feel like, at least in the competitive sense.
I have to 100% agree. We see Lucy I think she's definitely more prominent in 2v2s. I think she has a lot more presence when she has time to kind of space out, roll around, and she doesn't get caught off as much. Yeah. In 3s, sometimes we'll see some more unique comps. We'll see Sirius, we'll see Eldor. Lucy still, I think, is more prominent, but in 2s, it's almost like a surefire pick. You're going to see Lucy in most compositions that run support.
Yeah, I mean, the 3 that we really talk about is Lucy in terms of just general control over the game and having good healing throughput, having a fantastic barrier for damage mitigation. And then you look to kind of Eldor is kind of the range control, right? And he's got good CC, he's got that root, he's got the ultimate to assist ranged characters very well. And then you have Sirius, who's the aggressive support pick, right? Sirius is really diving in there, trying to assist and damage. That's why he's so well accompanied by Shifu, right? That's really what Sirius is all about. And so I like that we have 3 supports that have distinct roles. Lucy, by far, has been the favorite pick, I think, just because it does provide the safest option in many ways. As long as you know how to keep opponents away and you know how to manage your own cooldowns and health, Lucy can be fantastic for throughput in terms of healing and protection. The only other one that I'm thinking about is Paloma and Pearl. Where do they start fitting in? With the new patch, Pearl got a lot of updates to her BattleRekt.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting. I don't really know how it's going to play out, but
it'll take some time.
It will probably take some time. But it's interesting.
As we see with most, when we see a big change, it takes a little bit for people to realize, like, okay, what works best? What will this comp work best with? And what BattleRekts are going to work best as well? I think that's going to be key, especially with someone like Pearl. I think she's really strong. She got a little tweak, but she got a lot of tweaks. But one specifically on her silence now, she will always get that recharge on her dive, which I think is significant.
It's just baked into the toolkit.
Instead of having to get that BattleRekt, which I think took away from one of her stronger ones. Now it's just built into her toolkit, but she doesn't get it on her counter anymore, which I think is better for her, because having to depend on someone hitting you to get your charge, now it depends on you when you actually want to dive in. So you can actually get aggressive with Pearl. You can spacebar in and get that silence, and I think that could be key if she's going to try and build up with some others, but what she lacks in is hard CC.
It's interesting because almost nobody uses the EX left click for Pearl, just because there's that charge time that gives her the weapon charge, and I think people just regard it as not the best use of EX bar. They either use the EX bubble or they use the R shield. So I think it's good to give Pearl more options to acquire that charge weapon, just because it seems like it's a very costly thing for her to do if she's going to spend EX bar on it. But as a side note, I have never felt more useless as Pearl than when the new BattleRekts came out and I tried to go ham diving.
Oh, yep.
It was great. I would just dive. It was fun while I was doing it, and then by the time I was done...
You and me were running that in the ladder, yeah.
It was really fun, and then you would be dead, and I would still be diving around and be like, wait. Hold on, I still have this fantastic move I got to show you guys.
Yeah, hold on, check it out. It's pretty funny. It's really hard to lock her down. She's really tough. Yeah. But we're kind of, we're actually waiting on a player right now, just so you guys know why we haven't gone into game. We're waiting on a bit of, I guess, some troubles going on the end of one of our teams here. But yeah, I don't know. It's really interesting seeing how Lucy became so prominent. We do speak a lot on the fact that she has just, especially in 2s, she has that panic, that immediate panic that she can just kind of dish out to anyone that's hunting her down. She also has a Petrify, which I think is really strong as well. But it's looking like we had a little bit of a complication, and we're going to have, I guess, kind of a technical DQ here. Yeah. I think something happened with our players. I don't know what happened.
To my understanding, it seems like a particular player just disappeared.
Well, that's unfortunate. It could have been some connection issues.
So I hope they're okay. And unfortunately was not able to contact the player despite the fact that we have reached out. So unfortunately, Project Horizon is going to move on because they will take the second map by default. Yes. And unfortunately, sometimes this happens. I mean, I think it's the first time it's happened on BattleRekt. I mean, it's not the best solution of all, but you know.
I think there was just some confusion on how the map was going to get played out. But either way, hopefully we can clear that up. I hope there's a way that we can figure it out. But let's keep you updated. Show you the bracket just so you guys can see exactly what happened, because it's a little confusing because we're not very good at explaining things. This is why I'm not a teacher. Project Horizon will take ESL team down in a kind of a technical issue. And now we are actually going to...